working on those scripts, if there's no script in place, if there aren't specific actions that need to be taken and some qualifiers for new business, right?
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
Right now, while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
We took our notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies led Craig and I to selling more than $10 million in premium in the last 2 years.
On this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the same results.
Just go to live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
If you jump on this call with us, we're certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whichever one it is. This is Craig Pretzinger. This is another Agency Playbook. Grateful to have you here, and thanks for listening. We appreciate the listen. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. You can subscribe here. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. But make sure to make your way over to the YouTube channel because we do have some great content and started some new things, some shorts and some quick tips that you can grab if you find us motivating and informational. And I hope we are. If not, shoot us a message and let us know, because we would love to answer any questions that you may have. So you could hit the Facebook group. Insurance Dudes Facebook group is 4,000 people in there, lots of resources and opportunities to help grow as well. So you might have thought with that title, can most insurance agents hang with this heat? And what heat am I referring to? Oh, I'm talking about your heat. What about your heat? So this is an interesting thing. We, as agents, and myself, I remember when I first became an agency owner back in 2008, I would grab any piece of business that came through that doorway or called in or that somehow we got a hold of, or we used to do trade show. We used to do shows, like have a little booth at the car show, or we did one at the home and garden show. And at that point, you're thinking, I will take anything I can, right? And sometimes, even with leads, a lot of times there may be some, maybe not the best customers, potential customers in there. And I think that it's important to be able to walk away from a potential future headache, right? I think in this business, they call it field underwriting, right? Where we look for some of the warning signs. Now, a lot of the companies are going to have some built-in measures to really get rid of the riffraff. Somebody that has 10 DUIs or, a bunch of majors or whatever, right? Some real problem people, somebody with a big claim, right? Our carrier or carriers are going to protect us against that unless we have some kind of non-standard. But on the flip side of it, we want to sort of vet our potential clients, right? It isn't just fill up that thing with as much as possible and then let it rip, because that could run into some problems. So we need to define who our clients are and who we really want to go after and then target that. Now, with internet leads, if you're buying leads, this is there's some ways to throw filters on leads. You can get homeowners, a lot of ways to do it. If your team is good and you can train them up on what to look for on some potential folks that you don't want. So for example, my carrier is really big on, this year is really big on bundling, right? They always talked about bundling, but now they've tied it to some of the comp for the year. So that's our avatar, right? Our avatar is somebody who is going to get more than one line of insurance. My producers right now this year, they get penalized if they write monoline. So guess what? They don't write monoline. It's very rare. They have to get a special permission and they will be penalized even if it gets written. So there's a lot of ways to enforce that. And I can tell you that if you do something like that, where you draw that hard line, and maybe you don't write quite as much new business because you've put this into place, but after time, I could tell you, you could fill that gap either by upping your lead spend, upping your dials, whatever it is, to just make more contacts and get to that end result. But I would take a hard look. The thing that I did was I looked at, okay, what is my bonus if I don't hit my maximum potential on bonus because we have not hit the threshold for the bundled policies? Well, it's pretty simple to figure out that it would have cost a substantial amount of bonus by dumping in all those monoline policies. Now, okay, let's say it's close. Why would I go for those monoline policies instead of the bonus? Well, if I go for those monoline policies, I'm not going to have a lot of potential there, right? If we can't get that cross-sell up front, we can't get the cross-sell in the first 6 months, this is going to be a problem, right? They're not going to stick around. So we did all this work up front, and we really don't recover our cost per sale until, the second and third renewal, which is where we start making our money. So we need them to stay on the books. And how do we keep them on the books? By bundling, right? If you have the home and auto, it's going to stay a significant time longer. If we get a third policy like an umbrella or some toys, then it lasts even longer, right? Get the life insurance and they're supposedly last forever. I don't know if that's actually the case, but the data that we've been shown indicates that they're the 90% retention if we have them on the hook for life insurance on top of home and auto or renters and auto. So that's what we're talking about. So can most agents handle the heat of turning away business when they're struggling, right? A lot of agents are having a challenging time in this environment. And it goes back to, if you didn't listen to the previous Playbook 40, I talked a little bit, shared a story that resonates along those lines. But if we're not able to distinguish and really stick to our true perfect avatar, the client that we need to sign up or the customer that we need to bring in the door, and make exceptions and bring in other people, it's going to be a challenge. And we've had the same thing happen. Another example with the Teledudes program, same thing, right? Over there's a number of things that have to be done in order to be successful. If somebody comes on and they want, no, I just want it done, then you know what? Walk the other way. It's not going to be a good fit. And we tell a lot of folks, it's not going to be a good fit. I'm sure that Jason's going to bring this up too in one of his playbooks. He's going to talk about Tom Brady, even though he has no business talking about the foosball. But I'm going to talk real quick about Tom Brady and what made Tom Brady so great. What made Tom Brady arguably the best quarterback that's been around, at least in our era. Probably should say, probably is, right? Statistically is the best. So what made him the best? If you talk to Belichick or you talk to anybody in the organization or even himself, what they will tell you is he is coachable, right? This is the guy that should have the largest ego in the world, right? He's won the Super Bowl a million times. He's married to a supermodel. Everything's going his way, right? His bank account's got lots of millions in it. So he's doing okay, right? He's doing pretty good for himself. Yet he is still willing to take feedback, still willing to have somebody break him down if he didn't do well, still willing to accept advice on how he can improve. And that's what creates champions, right? Champions seek to improve. So same thing. In our program, have to be bought in with your agency. When we're selling the folks that are going to be our ideal client, we need them to be bought in, right? We need to have those conversations that create a bond and they're bought in to our coverages. It's not just apples to apples, let me get you the best deal. And that's what your producers are going to do if they're not trained, if we're not working on those scripts, if there's no script in place, if there aren't specific actions that need to be taken and some qualifiers for new business, right? They're going to go the easiest way. They're going to sell our price and they're going to write that bottom line. Well, is that what you want, right? Is that what you want? Is that what I want? Certainly not. And I don't think anybody that's listening to this wants that. That's why you're listening to this, right? For improvement. And that's what I'm going to leave you with is that thought. Think about that as you walk in the door tomorrow. What are you going to do? What can all of us do as agents to improve the culture of our clientele that we bring on, right? And it's seeking the right ones and then creating that bond with them and making them a lifetime client. So thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I know I said it, but I got to say it again. And we appreciate you being an insurance dude and or dudette or dude them, I guess. So we appreciate it. and look forward to seeing you in the future. Thanks. Hey, what are you still doing here?
Well, while you're still here and while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
Yeah, if you weren't listening before, we took notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies did help Craig and I write over 10 million in premium in the last couple years.
And let me tell you, on this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the very same results.
Again, that's live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
And if you jump on with us, we are certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.